So one of the common issues is customers will always look at what they currently have in their legacy applications and can we move that to the cloud, rather than thinking about new applications, obviously, because they want to get the benefit of their current applications. So there was an example where, well, we've done this multiple times, but one example with a big insurance group where they were trying to move their internal products to the cloud, and the only option they saw was infrastructure as a service, because to them it was just a virtual machine, I just move it and that's it. But really, if you want to harness the benefit of the cloud, it's scalability. It's having something that's flexible. So really you want to be using platform if you've got control of the product. Now if you've bought a product, it's a different story. But if you're actually the person who built it, then you should really be pushing to using platform as a service. So in that one example, they had a few pieces of technology they were using. They were using session state. They had kind of a non-stateless architecture. They were using some things that were held in memory. They were using ASP.NET membership. There was a few different things that if they just moved it straight to a cloud service in Azure and put it across machines, things wouldn't work. They'd get errors. So what we did is we helped them reconfigure that application, literally reconfigure, no coding changes at all. Moved that into a cloud service, deployed it, and they can now take that application and scale it as much as they want. With that particular customer, what we did is we worked with them on their DPS days, which are deployment planning days. These are packaged within every enterprise agreement with Microsoft, so there's no cost to the client. They only get the benefits. So what we did is we basically worked closely with the engineers in their team and the development lead, and took them through the process of moving this across. And this is physically working with the engineers. So we're all sitting there on a few machines, coding together or making changes, doing deployments. Yeah, and that's what we usually do. Is it's usually based on DPS days. The benefits to the customer is they saw the true value of platform. There's a lot of confusion around what does the cloud really give me? Why would I use it? When you're talking app dev, because people just think it's just compute and it's storage. It's not, it's a different paradigm of architecture and for development as well. So at the end of those, it was 3 days in this one example. At the end of those 3 days, all the engineers were, not only did they understand the benefit of platform and Windows Azure, they were actually fired up about what they could do with it. Not only with their current products and how they could optimize them and also take away the workload from them, because they were having to do the infrastructure management as well, which is another cost. But they were also inspired about what they could do moving forward. You know, the new applications they could build, how quickly they could do dev and test. You know, when customers really understand what they can do with Azure, it opens up many other opportunities. Because you can imagine in a previous kind of architecture on-premise, you've got to go through the process of getting the infrastructure in place, the cost of that, the people that manage that, the uptime to get that all done. With Azure, you don't have that problem. And the developers, if they're on MSDN subscription, they can just start using compute right now, which helps with innovation as well, because you have to also think about how that benefits those large organizations. Those new ideas around what they can do to improve their business process or add more value to clients or just cut costs generally is a great benefit to small to large organizations.